So we're about a month since Hamas conducted its surprise terrorist attack against Israelis, killing well over 1,000, taking hundreds hostage inside of Gaza. We're also a little bit over a week since the ground war began of Israel's physical invasion of Gaza. Israel is now surrounded Gaza City in the north, cut it off from the rest of Gaza, and is preparing for a ground incursion into the city itself. At the same time, many people in Gaza, many Palestinians, a number of which, of course, have nothing to do with Hamas, have fled from their homes, have died in the aerial attacks, and many are on the southern border with Egypt trying to get out, including a number of Americans and other nationalities that are trying to escape the war that's coming on. While we've seen steadfast support of Israel's campaign from the United States, from President Biden specifically, and from a number of governments in Europe and elsewhere, there's also been widespread popular anger with the Israeli campaign and the results. That is changing the political environment in which the military campaign operates. What we saw on October 7th was one of the largest, most damaging terrorist attacks in modern history, and the single largest murder of Jews since the Holocaust. As a result, the Israeli objectives for the campaign that they're undertaking now for the war is to prevent Hamas from ever being able to again present that kind of military threat to Israel, to also prevent Hamas from playing its leading political role in Gaza going forward. The Israelis have also set an objective to save as many of the hostages that have been taken as possible. From a purely military perspective, Hamas lost this war against Israel the moment that it decided to start it. Israel's military strength is that much greater than Hamas. There's only two ways for Hamas to succeed on their terms in this war. The first is that the war expands and a northern front develops, an eastern front develops. Hezbollah comes into the game. All of the rest of the Iranian proxies get fully into the war. We've already seen steps in that direction. The other way that Hamas can achieve its ends is if they find themselves in a position, whatever number of months from now, of still existing while a ceasefire is being negotiated. If Hamas is at the table, even indirectly as part of those negotiations, then Hamas will see it as a win. Doesn't matter how many Palestinians were killed, doesn't matter how many of their fighters they lost, they will see it as a win, and they will have positioned themselves positively from their point of view for the next big issue to come, which is what happens with the Palestinian Authority after Mahmoud Abbas dies. That's the real game in their mind. That's one of the main reasons why Hamas did this in the first place. And the other reason was to stop the ongoing efforts by Israel to normalize its relations in the world that started with the Abraham Accords and were looking to expand to Saudi Arabia. So this is why Hamas did what it did. And if it is still standing at the end, it will see that it has achieved some of its aims. That's why Israel has as its objective to ensure that Hamas is not standing.